Next up, our Youth Council Secretary, Jason. He claims to not be able to live without Dawn's runs with the boys, and of course, dance.
Through strong effort and great success to beat the stereotypes, Jason has a very powerful message to share with you all.
Yikes. It's a bad picture. Okay, sure, yeah. What is dance? What is it to a person or a community or a culture? To me, dance is a lifestyle. It's who I am. It's what's made me the person I am today. And it's a driving force. It's my passion. As a boy growing up in the Saskatchewan prairies, it's safe to assume that you will be playing hockey, bonding with your teammates on the rink, in the locker rooms, or your early morning practices, and it was my life for a little bit. I was good, but it wasn't something I loved. Holy moly. My family used to like to celebrate our Ukrainian heritage from time to time, and one year my dad's cousin was performing at the Saskatoon Folk Fest, and while we were there, we experienced everything we loved of the culture, the food, the music, and experienced the dance for the first time. When I moved to Lloyd, I went and watched one of the older groups dance at the soonest opportunity I had, and the boys were amazing to me. They could jump higher than I ever thought anybody could and do tricks so close to the ground it would destroy anybody else's knees. So I joined, and I knew I would be faced with bullying. I would take comments like, oh, he has to be gay, he must be gay, he dances, there's no way he isn't. But I wasn't. There's nothing wrong with being gay if I was. I just love to dance. So I had one option, and it was to own it. So I did. I worked harder than I ever had at dance, and everything about it improved. I could run and jump faster and farther than any of the athletes that were pulling me down. I started attending a dance camp every summer, and that's where I learned professional choreography and technique from instructors and teachers. And I met some of my best friends there and some of the best mentors I could ever ask for that all make dance more than it already was. I learned about the Shumka dancers through this camp, and they're Canada's top dog. They've toured all over the country and all the way to China and everywhere in between. They're such a magnificent group, and I've only ever seen them in person once. There's an amazing synergy between all the dancers, with such a vast difference between the men and the women's steps, whether it be the men's jumps or squats or the women's turns and kicks. It just clicks with each other. It's like a well-oiled machine. It's like unlike anything I've ever seen. I still took bullying as I grew older, and I learned about male celebrities who are also dancers, like Channing Tatum and Justin Timberlake, Gene Kelly, if any of you know who he is. And Gene Kelly has a quote, "Any man who looks like a sissy dancing is just a lousy dancer," which really hits home with me. When I dance, I feel alive. It puts me in my prime. Adrenaline pumps through all of my limbs, and my muscles take over. It becomes a second nature. It's a feeling that you can't really describe, and it's amazing. There's a stereotype in today's society where male dancers are less masculine than everybody else, but in Ukrainian tradition, there's these men, the Cossacks are these strong, courageous military men who would come home victorious from a battle and celebrate with dance and show off to each other. There's nothing emasculine about it. A couple years ago, my parents had a falling out and separated until just recently. It affected me and my siblings, especially my little sister Mary. She had severe anxiety and depression, and nothing could really get her out of bed in the mornings. I was full of anger and frustration that I didn't know how to deal with. I would bottle it up until I lashed out at anybody I could, and dance was a self-medication for the both of us. It made me happy, and it was something for my sister to always look forward to. I have poured my heart and soul into dance. I've had early mornings and late nights. I've sacrificed plans and rescheduled events based around it. I've traveled countless hours and danced even more as a commitment to my group, and I love it all the same. I don't know where I would be without dance. I definitely wouldn't be stepping out of my comfort zone to speak here, but I definitely wouldn't have some of the fondest memories and best friends I could ever have. And holy moly. I've grown up dancing with the same 6 members for the most part, and 2 of them were raised like they're my brothers. They're my best friends in the entire world, and I know that when we go our separate ways in the future, that one day we will be in each other's lives eventually. I think it's safe to assume that most people my age can be awkward around girls and not really know how to interact, but I've been dancing with them and spending time with them since I was 9, and it's built the confidence in me to be able to ask any girl in the room to dance. And you can really never underestimate the power of a good polka. Ukrainian dance really helped me connect with my heritage, so much so that I tattooed my shoulder. And I'm proud of it. I'm proud of who I've become and who I am, what dance has done for me, and that I find a passion in something so obscure in today's society, and I owe it all to my instructor, Sean Ostafy. This was a talk about passion, and I urge anyone who's too afraid to follow theirs to go for it. Take insults, injury, whatever it takes. And boys, if you want to pursue dance but you're too afraid, it doesn't matter. I'd say go for it. Besides, that's where all the girls are anyways. Thank you.